Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. And happy Remembrance Day. Yeah. I'm not quite on Facebook yet. There I am. So I just did some tweaking on my guitar with the pickup, and I think I got it figured out. I usually do things the hard way. Not really. My guy did something, and then just my fifth and sixth string were just nothing there. And so I just been fuddling with it for a week now. Been struggling for a while, but trying to fix it myself. And I just did it. Yeah. So on a very quick note, I have an upcoming concert on November 23rd here just outside of Vancouver, where I live. But you can also watch it virtually if you'd like. You'll see the information pinned to the top of my Facebook page. And yeah. So you can watch it virtually or in person also, because people are all around the world, is that after or during, whatever, that this will be in a private group for your guys to be able to watch it at your convenience. That video will be up for 48 hours. Yeah. So. A little bit tweaking here, sorry. I think I just took off and put all my guitar strings 4 times this afternoon, trying to get my pickup sorted out. Okay, let's see where we go. Here we go. said, Andrea, the inner child, you are 100% right, which I will now articulate, because I just, here's the thing about our journeys. Okay, this could be just a talk, I don't know. Let's see where it takes us. I got triggered. I got re-traumatized. PSD, the whole 9 freaking yards. Being nice now. I've always struggled with this my entire life. About people having truthfulness about them. No meanness about them. So on and so forth. Because coming from a very dysfunctional family was very difficult. Then I move into my youth and then move into my young adult self, then I get into the adult part, and you know, and when my journey started in 1996, as I opened up to my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions, that I would channel that energy through my guitar. That is my voice. That is an extension of me, which is my soul. My screen on my phone here is going fine. Yeah, so I'm not sure. But anyway, I never understood what a trigger was. I know what it feels like, but I never had a language around it. And as my life went on and carried on, and then for the last 5 years, plus 5 years plus, I really got involved with an incredible spiritual community. And I've come to understand more about myself. And so I've grown and expanded. I've had struggles in the spiritual community of healers who call themselves a healer, who are not of integrity of their work. I've had people say to me, well, that person paid, so they're more valuable than you, even though you didn't pay, but you're not valuable, is the one that paid. That's literally what's happened. And that was in 2016. And I was dealing with a landlord who are very narcissistic, pathological liars, manipulators, the whole 9 yards. And I stood up to them. Just holding them accountable. We have a thing here in British Columbia called the Residential Tenancy Board. And what it does, it protects the landlord and the tenants. So it tells each party what they're responsible for and obligated to do, etc. So there's sorry, I looked at something to distract me, but anyway, I'm just going to carry on, I'll come back. And so I know what I hear with my own ears. I know what I see with my own eyes. Because that is what matters to me. It's not what somebody's trying to tell me something is. It's what I saw for myself. And you're absolutely right, Elizabeth, a charge. And, you know, following along with the this election that just happened in the States, and the amount of lying, the amount of manipulation by the people that were running with Trump. I'm just going to use that, and I'm not blaming anybody. Just bear with me, you guys. Don't get into a rant here, okay? Is all these people, you know, try to cover up what was said. They manipulate things, and then you get the richest man in the world come in and add fuel to that. That triggered me, especially the results. When I woke up Wednesday morning and I had a text from a friend of mine, and I went, no. So I turned on the TV. You gotta be kidding. And I'm going, where's the decency in people? Is this the kind of people we hang around with? People that mock disabled people? People who do not see women as equal to a man? We don't see that women are worthy of decent, respectful health care? Now, there's all kinds of things that are out there. You know, I just sort of sit back and I try to do my best to evaluate for what I see. And I never realized till this afternoon, because I'm going within myself, I'm going, like, what's going on with me? You know, I've been struggling emotionally, and I really like your term there, it was charged, because it triggered me. Here we go again, another master narcissist, master manipulator, you name it, right down the list. Getting away with it. Because that's how I lost my home. I did nothing wrong. And it's the same thing with repeatedly in my life. I keep a very, very, I'm very selective who I allow into my life and into my world. And I'm going to say the word, thank fucking God. Thank fucking God. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I had a friend of mine, she sent me this thing, or she said, I think it was a combination of both, you know, help Pamela put down immigrants. And I responded, said, that is not true. They took one part out and they said, oh, this is what this is. But if you listen to the whole thing, even 1 minute of it, 60 seconds, how about 15 seconds of it, you would realize that you're being manipulated. That's where, for me, it's very important that if it's something that's important and relevant to me, I want to watch it for myself. I want to see it, I want to hear it for myself. Not what somebody else's interpretation or piece of the pie is to whatever. Because it's very important to me, truthfulness, honesty. Where have we gone wrong? Oh, I hate you because of that. Oh, I hate you because of that. What? I said to a friend of mine not that long ago, and you guys I want to make this very clear. I'm not picking sides here. I'm speaking the truth for me, for what I see and what I hear and how it's affected me. Something that, and I said to my friend, because really I only have one friend, and I said to her a few months back, this feels Nazi-like. It's something there. And then he had his rally at the Madison Gardens, I think it is, whatever it was, which is, for those who don't know, I think it was 1928 or 19, around then, okay, so don't quote me on the date, okay, early 1900s, that there was a massive German Nazi rally held at the exact same place that Trump held his rally, his big one. And if you listen to these people that was at his rally, what they said, etc., etc., it was disgusting. It was appalling to speak of people so just, it was awful. It was just awful. And it's this afternoon, because I've been sitting with myself for the last week, trying to, I was thinking yesterday, like, am I sliding back? And I'm talking about emotionally, psychologically, I'm speaking off when I say that. And then this afternoon, because I'm always going inside to little, and all of a sudden tears come up. It was that little girl inside of me. Yeah. So, Andrea, when you said about the inner child, you have no idea how spot on you were. Because of that connection within myself and understanding what happened for me and with me. Was a freedom within me because I connected with her. But it's connecting the dots. Like, I've never, like, since last Wednesday morning, I haven't talked to anybody. I went to 2 different functions. And because where I was mentally, could say. Because I went to these 2 functions to promote my upcoming concert. But I don't know what I just said. I went to 2 events to promote my concert. If I said it wrong the first time, there it is. And they were doing crafts. Because I was so disconnected from me that I couldn't do anything with the craft stuff. Because I'm disconnected from me. And later on, I went to the other function, which was a games night. And one of the games, there was, 15 people there, and we broke up into 3 groups. And we were playing where you draw something. I couldn't draw. I felt stupid, but I wasn't stupid. But see, the people there they don't know me. They don't know, they just don't know me. I'm going to say it was a bit embarrassing, but I wasn't shameful of what, but because I know what was going on for me. That's what mattered the most. People want to judge, go fill your fucking boots. Because there was a lady over by the lady I was sitting beside. She saw this thing I drew and she started making fun of it. Yeah, and I was right there. Every single one of us are trying to do our best. Every single day. And for me is, forgive me, I kind of blow my nose because it'll drive me nuts. Give me 2 secs. I'm very careful what I do. I don't regret going to those 2 functions, but I regret going in the condition that I was in mentally. And I even sent a text message to somebody yesterday or last night, and I read it back. And it's not me, it's not how I speak. Because I said to this person, if you guys decide to come to my concert, you bring your kid, which is their dog. And when you know, if you decide to come, what a fucking stupid thing to say. I'm not saying I'm stupid, I'm just saying that's not me. They don't know my story. Not they have to know my story, but I'm just trying to say the fact is they don't know this part. Like, I want to tell them both so they understand when I go through something, what happens for me. And here's the thing is this, as I say this, is people are so judgmental. Like, I know mentally what I've gone through in the last week, almost week, 5 days, right? And it's only when we come out of it that we get, oh, okay, now I get it. But when we're in it, it's harder. But here's the thing is this, I have this phrase. It's called, we get to uncover things. When we uncover something, we get to discover that. Let's call it a 0 point, which was I discovered this afternoon. Right? And with that was like I said, I started crying. Because I zeroed pointed inside of me. And then, so I've been sort of processing since then, and it's like, all I want to do is play, and I had to deal with my pickup because it was driving me nuts, and I finally got it sorted out. Bravo, I'm not a tech person, you guys. You may think because of what I do, I'm savvy at this. No, I'm not. Right? And because inside of myself I'm going, like, I understand. Like, there's a part of me, and I'm going to say this, I'm very connected to spirit. I'm very connected to many things. And when I say this out loud, I'm not disrespecting myself. I'm not disrespecting anybody. But I also know people that are like, whoa. And when I say this is that there's nothing that they're not. They've known this their entire lives, their gift and their ability. They have, you know, there's a part of me that understands everything that's happening right now we need to go through, but the thing is it's not about what happened. It's about us getting our power back. It's not about going, blah, 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 blah. It's not about that. For me, it's about, like, for me, it is, you know, my internal struggle. It's like, where am I? And that, and it's like, you know, I can play my guitar mechanically anytime. And it also, when I say that out loud, so don't misinterpret this, is when I play the guitar, I'm back and connected with me, because that's the only time, no matter what's going on out here, it's like in here is my voice, right? And no matter what I'm going through here, usually doesn't come through there. This takes me, oh, here we are, right? And it's like, just with what I did here, like, that can only be done because how I feel inside of me. Because, you know, this afternoon, getting into that 0 point, why I've been struggling, because I was triggered, I was re-traumatized, PTSD, you name it, right down the list with me. And once I was able to identify, then, oh, okay. it didn't have that hold on me that it did. Yeah, it's a, and here's the thing, the reason why I'm sharing this in hopes that people have an opportunity, because there's different languages around this. I just speak my way because it's how I feel. And many people can articulate things on such an incredible level, but yet I know they're speaking truth. Do I speak that way? No. But I know what they're saying is truth. Yeah. and that's why I was, this, when I started talking about this, that's why I went back to my childhood, into my, adult, and into my, we have patterns, and that, like, we see it every day. People we know, they repeat the same thing again and again, no matter what it is. And they keep on saying, oh, that person did that to me. Oh, that person did that to me. Nobody did anything to you. But here's the thing is this. Most people are just existing, and they're trying to survive. This journey that we're on is an inner work. It's a lifetime. And with, I'm not responsible for other people's behavior, conduct, nothing. I'm only responsible for mine. Yes, I may react to things. I don't like it, but I do react. But I like responding. And it's the same thing, like when I say this, is that when we have a glimpse into who we really are, I mean, who we really are from inside, and then you go over here and you go, we start to, I know for myself that I will help anybody as long as you're willing to help yourself. If you want to play the victim role, go ahead. I will support you, but then it will come to a time when that, and that I have a friend of mine that I had to do it with 2.5 years, be almost 3 years in February. Like chaos, drama all the time. And it's, and I know how hard it is to break the cycle. It's difficult, but we need to take a look at ourselves and start, this is not coming out the way I want it to come out, what I'm trying to feel, what I'm actually feeling when I'm trying to articulate it. I used to say this all the time, nobody can make you feel anything that you already don't feel inside of yourself, which is very, very true. Just hear that again. Nobody can make you feel anything that you already don't feel about yourself inside. That's the trigger. That's the wound inside of ourselves. That's why the reaction is. But if we don't identify that reaction within us, where we're coming from in that moment, we get trapped in that cycle. It's an energy. And if you don't understand that, you are going to repeat the cycle again and again and again. And it's like with me, my voice, as you guys all know, my strongest voice is my guitar, but this is also strong at this moment. There's a lot of people out there right now that have been re-traumatized, been affected by the results because of people that have been lying, being deceptive, deceiving, you know, taken a clip of something, but only a little portion. Said, this is what they said, but not the whole thing. I want to hear the whole thing. And it's, you know, I feel helpless. I feel very helpless. Because right now, has been for the last 2 years, you guys. For the last 2 years, women are dying. This is not about abortion, for fuck's sake. Oh, abortion done. This is not about abortion. This is the part they don't get. This is about women who cannot even get a basic health care because they're losing their baby, for Christ's sake. But because of what's happening, and the states are saying, it's people are dying. Women, not people. Take that back. Women are dying. Are the men dying from this? Nope. Just the women. Their job on this earth is to make babies, have the baby no matter what, even if it kills them. Their job is to have that baby. If they die because of it, too bad. That's the message that I hear very loud and clear. I'm gay. Guess what they're coming after next? Is gay rights. Do you realize how many years it took for women to even vote? And by the way, just so you know, voting only came about, 50 or so years ago? Yeah. Women weren't allowed to vote. It was only the man. He's the man. He's the only one who can vote, right? So we just 50, 60 years ago, we got our voting rights. Roe versus Wade. People fought to get health care because what's happening, it's not the abortion clinics. Everybody has the right to choose whatever they want to do. And the abortion clinics were put there to protect the women to get proper health care. And nobody has died because of it. Think about that. And all you gotta do is look at it. And there's a report that just came out, a medical report. I don't know what state it was, of 2 women who died. And this is like 2 years after the fact, because it took that long for the investigation to get there. And the results were, bottom line, by the way, they're having a miscarriage, both of them. A miscarriage. Both were preventable. That's in the autopsy. Both were preventable. What my personal belief systems are, I don't have a right to project it onto anybody else. In other words, if you want to have an abortion, you should have the right to have that under the proper care, because you think of what it used to be years ago. In case some of you guys are not aware, what used to happen years ago, it was butcher shit happening, and women were dying because of that. And that's how come they fought to have our rights to have proper health care if we choose to. It's an option. And in the last 2 years, that's where I'm like, my heart breaks. And that's where I've been struggling, because I thought that decency would prevail versus manipulation, all of it. It didn't. the one thing I must say, thank God for all the decent, kind, loving politicians that are out there who do give a damn about women's rights. And we have to shift our focus to put our energy into those decent people for them to fight what's going to happen within the legislations. Like, I know a lot of truths, okay? And I don't talk about a lot of stuff online because it just doesn't come up. To be quite honest, it just doesn't come up. But I'm really scared. I'm concerned. I'm going to take that back. I'm not scared. I'm concerned. I feel helpless. And when I spoke about, you know, the gay community, the trans and everything else that's here, and here's something too. The girl, going back to manipulation, these people, and here's the thing that really gets me, is any person who lies and be deceptive, deceiving, need to be held accountable. They all do, in my view. Is the, sorry, I'm going to take a drink here. I had it there. I'll come back. If it's meant to be, we'll come back. Oh, I know what it is. About gay rights. Here's they were saying how that kids can get, if you're a transgender kid, right? You're a trans kid. I'll go back on that. Just the word trans. You're a trans kid. Oh, you can get an operation now. Here. That isn't how it works. That is not true. That is not true. Oh, a transgender wants to be in the opposite, you know, and, you know, because I do respect these people who have whatever they are, gender, female, male, whatever it is. Doesn't matter to me. I'll call you he or I'll call you she, whatever it is. But here's the thing is this, is that they try to say that there's all these transgender people in sports. It's not true. There is one person that is trans, she or he, I'm not sure which way it goes. I think it's she's a she. And she approached them, she went through different whatever levels to get okayed to play sports as a woman. But see, this is where people take things and they, oh, let's make this big story. It's not true. It's not true. There's that one person, but it's in a very low level of sports. When I say this, no, I don't feel, no. Because I don't know if you guys would understand this, but it's, we need to take responsibility and find out the correct information, or watch a whole thing to hear the whole thing so you understand. And when I say this, like, it just popped back into my thoughts here, is when I was talking about my friend who sent me the, oh, look, she said, you know, kick him out of here or whatever. And I said, Pamela never said that, right? And I said, I watched the whole thing, and this is what happened. She had a heckler, a Trump heckler, who was heckling, and she says, I think you might be at the wrong rally. The one you want to go to is just down the road. It's a smaller one. That's almost verbatim what she said. But they took that little clip and then twisted. We need to stop being so, I don't know what the word is, gullible, naive. Like I remember years ago, I come from a very small island. Population of the entire island, when I was a kid, I don't know what it was when I was a kid, but it's like, now it's like 160,000 people. That's today. And when I was a kid, it was way less than that. And then enough PEI moved to Calgary. Oh, just so you know, PEI is on the far, far east coast of Canada. And then I went to Calgary, Alberta. Like, massive city. And my friends and I, we went into McDonald's for lunch. And because my gullibility, right? And it said, if you do, you know, get a free meal. So I did that. They were laughing at me. It didn't really hurt the time because I laughed along with it, but my point is this, is that I take things at face value. I take things, I don't question things. You know, and don't ever think I don't question things, because I do question certain things, because that's for me to search within myself for the truth. I'm chuckling because there's times when I don't feel or think, you know, I don't feel I have a lot to offer, a lot to say. Because my guitar does my speaking for me. And that's where Andrea, she knows this. You know, I come on here, don't talk very much. It's just me being within myself and just sharing the energy with you guys. And I don't talk like this very often. But because of my connection with my inner child this afternoon, because of the triggering, being re-traumatized by what's going on, I just felt that I, want to come on and play and just see what happens. And I just took into this, and it's just this. It's just, I never thought when I say this, just as I mentioned to you guys what happened last Wednesday evening by that lady who was making fun of me. Because of the state I was already in, it really hurt. It really hurt. Because of where I was at in that moment. I'm trying to process what just happened. I'm very angry inside. I'm just so angry. And it took me till today. And I'm so grateful that I'm back. And this is when I have my voice the best. This is, when I say this, is I got a concert coming up in a week and a half because of my state of my mind, which is go back to disconnecting from myself. I'm going, I can't do a concert because of how I'm feeling. It's not fair to them. You know, it's already, that's just passing through, you know, my mind, my thoughts. Because I have a responsibility in what I do. And if I can't show up and be me, I can't go. But there's a difference when I am the performer. Oh. Yeah, and I know that, Andrea. It's not about, you know, it's just because I was feeling so disconnected from me, because everything, what I do and who I am, I'm the soulful guitarist. I don't expect anything from myself, no. But because now, because it's just crazy mentally what I've gone through in the last 5 days has been awful. And then my friend just kept on adding salt to the wound because she watches YouTube and she believes what they say on there is gospel. There's a balance, I feel, with it all. And no, I know I can do it. I was just sharing that as what was happening with me, because it's a mental thing, because when we're not connected to ourselves and when we're struggling with whatever it is mentally, right? But yet there's that part of us that know differently, the spiritual side of ourselves. But for me, when I disconnect from this, which I got triggered, which will disconnect me. And then, you know, I was going, I think today, yeah, there's a couple of healers, like I was going to reach out to them and say, look, I need your help. And I agree with you on that. I just put it up here. Take all the stories out and feel the triggers. And I'm going to, when I say this, is I remember earlier on in my journey back in late 1990s, I felt at that time all the details mattered with the story. But what I now realize is this is, with the story and the details and all that stuff, if we live with that, we stay in that energy. We're stuck in that energy. And it's just, you know, like, you know, sorry, I didn't mean to take that down so quickly. Take all the stories out and feel the triggers. You're absolutely right, but that's the thing, is about zero pointing. Get to the trigger. What was it? And like this afternoon, it was a boom. But like, I haven't been able to talk to anybody, and especially the person that I need to talk to the most. I couldn't. And I will have a conversation about all this, because she, above all people, knows my entire story. She knows what I've gone through. I'm not saying she has to cater to me. Fuck, I'm not saying that. It's just, what I'm trying to say is, she was so caught up in something that Yeah, I'll just leave that as that. It's my responsibility to figure this stuff out. And that's where this afternoon, as I started to mention that, we're going to reach out to one or two healers that I know they're the real McCoy. But I did it myself. I know I could do it myself. Yeah. And that's the thing, we can all do it. And it's just, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. You know, and this, I still struggle, and I don't have to change how I struggle. When you have your guys president-elect coming up who mocks disabled people. He did that on stage. He literally gave people permission to mock people. Why do you think all these different nationalities, I'm going to, ethnicity, there we are, of people, how they've been attacked? The Asian people. Like, what? And I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm not going to do that. It's just hard. But at least I'm out of this being triggered, and now that's why I call it uncovering. I get to discover. I get to discard. And that's what I did today for the last 5 days, trying to uncover this within myself. And I'm angry, but now I'm going to use this anger in a good way. Not that it wasn't used in a good way, I'm just saying it wasn't stuck inside, because it was stuck inside of me. Now I'm going to channel that energy and channel whatever beautiful music will come through. Speaking of that, let's see where Spirit's going to take us. How's that? Yeah. This could be good. The first one was really good. And by the way, the first song that I did earlier is on my first album, but it's never been utilized with a looper until you just experienced it. Okay, let's see where we go. Yes, Elizabeth, I'm going to be using a looper here very shortly. Here we go. I need to say something. That's why I jotted down these numbers, because some of you guys have better insight, better little all that stuff, but I also know that numbers are very significant. And the one thing, my beautiful sister, which I actually had the pleasure of meeting, Sandra, and I met her two and a half years ago at Soulful Fest in Arkansas. But when you come in, when I saw you, you come in exactly, this is how long I've been on here, okay, so this is the time. You came on here when I've been on here for exactly 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 11 seconds. Yeah. When I saw that you come in, I don't know why I looked, but obviously, yeah. So it was 1 hour, 22 minutes, 11 seconds when you came on. Powerful. So let's have a little bit of wherever's going to take me. Oh, I know. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Andrea. And I cannot thank you enough for you being who you really are. I feel very honored. I feel very blessed. I feel very honored and very blessed. So we're missing our wing person. She's not a wing person. She's part of our Trinity. But she'll be back. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Elizabeth, by the way. Welcome. God, I saw other people here. I haven't said hi to them because I was just so being present with whatever, not whatever. Take that back, Ernie. This is how I speak, you guys. If I go to say something and I go, I'll take it back. Or I'll change the word in the middle of it. Anyway, it's, I'd like to share this with you, especially Elizabeth, because obviously you're a fellow musician. I only started looping just over 3 years ago. Before that, I just did my own thing, like, I have my own style, but I never picked. When this looper came into my life and into my world, it opened me up to more of myself. And it's been quite the journey. This looper, like, it's been like, wow. Yeah, it's 2.5 years? 20, anyway. So it's about 3 years I've been looping. And it was actually last fall, because do I know what I'm doing? I have no idea. I don't read music. I feel a vibration within me, and that's where I express from. This instrument here, the looper, has opened me up, and I've been learning how to pick, number one, but number two, to trust myself. And it was last fall, I have never said this to you guys publicly until this moment, I went, oh, I'm actually harmonizing. Because before that, because what's been happening is the more that I work with this, because it's like, it's coming into its own. And it's, when I embodied this, that I am, a year and a half ago, it was in June that I embodied this, that I am, I've been stepping into this part of me and just trusting it, and it's like, it's been an incredible journey, just absolutely incredible. And yeah, so I've been learning how to pick and trusting myself, and I channel energy is what I do. It comes from source through me, through my guitar. Over here. Here, I'll let you. I wanted to do this earlier, but didn't. This song that I'm going to play with you guys, which is true, play here right now. This song is called The Journey of Life. And there's no looper in it. But here we go. Yeah. It's good to feel the way I feel inside. It's like I'm back. I would like to share with you guys, as you know, the title of this song is called The Journey of Life. It's going to be changed to Circle of Life instead of The Journey of Life, because it's actually a circle. So now the song makes sense. To share with you before I go here, as you, a lot of you guys know, I channel energy. And it happens in the moment and stuff. But here's the thing is this, that song there is the only song that I got downloads, like specific download. And how this came about was, it was late 1990s. A friend of mine was struggling to stay on this earth. She didn't feel safe to really speak truth, her truth, because she's always worried about everybody else. That's what we do a lot of. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings and all this. And I did not know until just before she committed suicide what was going on. And Gordy and Judy, by the way, her name was Judy Cowles. I used to be a gold winger, which is a motorcycle rider. It's the big touring ones. And we had a rally for the toy run. And everybody was gone. It was just Gordy, Judy, myself. So we started talking, and then I mentioned about I'm in counseling. And Judy looked at me, not you. I go, yeah. And I said the word something about great facade, eh? And that's the thing. We know how to put on a facade. So they come back to my house. We spoke for quite a while. After that, I went over to their house. And I, asked questions. So I found out that Judy was seeing a psychologist. Personally, I have an issue with psychologists. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because they're all here, not here. And I know, anyway, so then I found out he was a male. I knew inside of me. So I asked Judy, would you, how do you feel? Do you feel comfortable with him? And Gordy said to her, it's okay, you can talk to Ernie. And that little girl's voice went, no. So I said, I will reach out to my counselor, well, the next time I saw her, and I'll reach out to her and see if she can bring you in. Would you like that? And she went, yes. And I said to her, just so you know, you're going to have to call her once I set this up. You have to make the call. She goes, no, I understand. Gordy never knew every day he'd come home from work he was going to find his wife alive or not. And this day he came home and him and a co-worker, and Gordy said, something's not right. He went into the house, looked for her, couldn't find her. Because he's found her many places down by the river, like it's just sad. And then all of a sudden he heard her screaming. Him and his co-worker ran over. And Judy said, help me. And Gordy said, it's too late. Because it was. I think she lived 5-7 hours, something like that. When I got home from work that day, Barry said, "There's a message on the phone for you." I said, "Yeah." And it says from Gordy. And I looked at him, and he goes, "Yeah." And just like, oh, shit. So I listened to the voice message and called Gordy right away. I went to work the next day. I had this feeling come over me from within that I never used these words then, but these are words I use now, because I understand it now. I want to channel a song that was in honor of her and her journey. And it started that night. All of a sudden, I got a download. I knew exactly where to put my left hand. I knew exactly what to do with the right hand. So I got a download that night. Then the next morning, I get another download. The afternoon, I get a download. It was like this for 5 days straight. And the evening before her memorial service, because I did ask Barry, I said, "If I get it completed, may I share this song that's hers at her service?" He goes, "Yes." So the night before her service, I'll say the word, I was stuck. And I came downstairs, and my roommate Barry said, "How's it going?" I said, "It's going good, but I'm stuck." And this guy, don't you love people? He's like an Andrea. Just doesn't ever say a whole lot, but just the perfect words. And I went, "Got it." Back upstairs. And the next morning, I finished it off, played it once through, and then played at her memorial service. This is the only song that I've actually got specific downloads like that. It was amazing. It was amazing. I don't talk about what I just shared with you guys very often, but I don't know why at this moment I felt it was necessary. Somebody out there need to hear this. I think the saddest part is with my friend Judy. Of course, she never made that phone call, by the way. But this is what happens with us. Because after she died, by the way, Gordy and I, we haven't talked in years, but he was sharing with me how people called him up afterwards. By the way, she was a nurse. Called him up afterwards to tell him that she was molested. And what happened, because Gordy and her are married, but they moved back onto the property in their own place. They bought a trailer, but they're on the property that she was violated on. He had no idea. So she was constantly being, "You guys don't know what it is." And if he would have known, he would have taken her out of there just like that. But he did not know then. Because the pain that she carried inside of her, because it was never safe for her to speak her truth. She never found that safe space to talk about this stuff. When I started talking earlier, is this very thing. It is about, I still get triggered. I just came out of it. It was 5 days of what happened. I was re-traumatized because of the outcome in the States. Well, that's the thing about trauma. You never know what's going on, right? And here's my friend who felt she didn't have a right to say, I don't want to be on that property, let's find some other place. Let's buy a trailer and put it someplace else, right? It's a logical thinking that gets in our way. It's a logical thinking that interferes with us doing what is right for us. Because when we pay attention from in here and speak that and operate from that place, it's just flowing. And excuse me, but fuck everybody else on that, right? Because it's like, you know, I know with Gordy that if he would have known, like I know, because we've talked about it. And, you know, I look at my own journey and how far I've come, and it's going to be continuous for the rest of my life. Because I keep on uncovering stuff, discovering stuff, discarding. And here's the thing, I would like to share this with you guys right now. I have this lady, I don't know when I'm going to meet her, because I live in Vancouver, or just actually outside of Vancouver, BC, British Columbia, Canada. That's where I'm at, just outside of there. And back in, I think it was 2016, 2017, something like that. Her name is Susan Woodward. She posted this post about a covert narcissist. And I start, you know, reading, because it was one of those memes, but goes a little bit deeper. And so I start reading the article about a covert narcissist, because I was in a situation then, which I already talked about earlier, that I was dealing with narcissistic, pathological liars, manipulators, landlord. And with that article, as I read it, I went, oh my God, that's who I'm dealing with? Oh my God. Because if you can name it, you can tame it. If you can name it, you can tame it. And thank God for Susan, and she knows this because I've told her the story. And it's not about changing them, it's how I dealt with them. And they didn't know what to do. Because before I was engaging with them, because I didn't know anything different. I was standing in truth, I had my rights, I stood up to that. But here's the thing is this, is that article empowered me. So I shifted how I dealt with it. Yeah. But here's the cool part. With that realization, I was able, all of a sudden I look back at, I have not had very many relationships in my lifetime. 3 primary, a couple little short ones, couple, maybe 2. But what I was able to do with that uncovering, that I was able to identify, all of a sudden I went, oh my God, that's the people I've been in a relationship with. The same kind of people. Then all of a sudden I was back into my, it was like this incredible information that came to me. No wonder I'm comfortable in these abusive relationships, because that is what I only knew. I did not know anything different. And because of that one article in the situation at that moment helped me to identify this incredible part of my life. I went, oh my God, you talk about empowerment with that uncovering and discovering that part. Because it's like, holy shit, no wonder I repeated that. Kept going into physically abusive relationships to being verbally abusive, psychologically abusive. It was crazy, but in a good way now, because it's like, with that knowledge comes awareness. That insight comes awareness. And how I see things and how I move through this and that. That's where with these last 5 days, whatever it's been, today's Monday, these last 5-6 days, if I didn't have my awareness within, that's where I struggle. But I did not realize that I was being triggered, re-traumatized, because, I have an issue with anybody who lies. It tries to blow smoke up my ass. And I love this. The big old boys club, I pat your back, you pat mine. This is my statement. I don't play that game. I don't play that game. And the one thing with narcissistic people, they don't like being held accountable because they say, oh, she's being a bitch. She's demanding this, demanding that. I'm not. I have rights. Your job is to ensure that myself and other tenants are treated all equally and fairly. I have a thing with that. It does not sit well with me. And I'm so grateful for my willingness, my soul's desire to understand, not conquer. That word will pop up every now and again. I don't need to conquer anything. I don't need to conquer anything because I am who I am. And it's just me being at peace within myself to understand really who I am. Because if if you see me a certain way, am I responsible for that? No. And when I say that is, I'm responsible for my own action, behavior, conduct, what I say, how I say it, blah, 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 blah. I'm responsible for that. But when people don't understand some of the stuff I talk about, they feel they have to make me wrong so they feel better. When I say this is, I'm just trying to give you guys a glimpse in a little bit of my world. I left a very, very abusive relationship about 2011. And then I have not had a relationship since then. And I've been working on me, just doing my music. I don't know why I said this, if there was a reason. Sorry. Sorry, Elizabeth. I just looked down and saw your comment. This what she just said was actually perfect timing. It's just like, yep. Lost in translation between the both ends of the stick, and I lost in my brain. Yeah, that's exactly it. Thank you. Is that people like, oh, I know what it was, because I've not even hung out in the gay community. I only started hanging out about a year and a half ago. Right? I sort of dipped my feet in a little bit because she lives. I've blocked her every which way possible, but she keeps on finding ways to get to me, you could say. And so, okay. Sorry. I think I'm starting to get tired. I'm not really tired. Is for the last, it's about a year now, yeah. I've been hanging out with these incredible women. And then the last few months, since about August, I started hanging around with the Langley Senior Society. And so what's happening is I'm getting out more in the community. We have pub night once a month, and I'm now taking over Dem Song. But here's the thing is this. I see it in these people, some of these people that I've not connected with, but I've met through there. And it's very, when you're able to sit back, like I have this one lady, like I trigger the shit out of her. I know that. I'm very solid. I'm very solid. And when I go to speak or do whatever, it scares the pants off of some people because it's like, you got to be passive. You got to be, I don't need to be passive, right? But what I'm saying is this, is I'm not responsible if she's being triggered or she feels, oh, Ernie, she's such a little bit, well, that's your perception. And here's something, I know where I'm going with this now. I just kept on talking because I knew, is this. We need to stop talking about other people behind their fucking back. Now you're talking to somebody because you're seeking resolution. That is different. But if you're going to sit there and talk about somebody behind their back, and in my view, bash them, we need to stop this because I won't have nothing to do with people who want to talk about other people. These people have nothing to do with me. And here's the thing is too, I have done this, and I'm sure you guys all have, is that we've listened to other people about somebody and we go meet them, we have a misrepresentation of who they are. And then as we talk to them and we get to them, we go, it's not what that person said. How many times have we done that? I've done it. That's a lesson for me. And that, you know, my memes are all about taking responsibility. Look at your journey. Look at what you do. Everything I post speaks to my soul. If it doesn't speak to my soul in that moment, I will not post it. I can't. What I'm saying is this because I'm always, you know, saving stuff. And then I have the system for me. If I see something, and I just save it in my photos, and I go, my last one, put down few, right? And you know, like even today, I was reading a couple of things, because here we go, interpretation. And I was not, at the moment when I read that, was not in a good space. So I also know when I read something that if I'm not in a good space, I'm going to maybe possibly not understand what it's really saying. I know that. I know that about me. Yeah. And that's the thing, I'm so grateful, like even, I need to say this to you guys all, I'm so grateful for every person, you know, we get a few people on here. And I am so heartfelt grateful for every single one of you guys holding space for me as I move through this transition. I have not done a 2-hour in a long time. I love it. And I thank you guys all for holding space for me as I move through this. And don't forget, I got a concert coming up. It's going to be available virtually or in person on November 23rd. It's going to be fun. And that, just for my new friend here, Elizabeth. Do they call you Liz or Elizabeth? You let me know which one you want me to call you. That's my tower. That's my Bose 32, and I have that there. I also have a portable Bose battery operated as well. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. So you guys, I'm going to go be quiet. I love you all dearly. I really, truly do. Andrea, you're just, I thank you. Whoops, screeching here. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for the people I've been connecting with continuously. I'm glad you're finding me. I'm glad I'm finding you. So on that note, blessings, everybody. Blessings. Please honor yourself. Please. Okay. Hugs and loves, everybody.